Time now for your evening edition. I'm DeAndre Hamilton, TCI, world and regional top stories in the news that matters most.
The National Health Insurance Plan has over 37,000 contributors.
That's 37,000 of us working together to take care of one another.
Your contribution ensures my wife and unborn child gets the prenatal care they deserve.
Your contribution helps me to afford my medication.
Your contribution has helped my loved one receive treatment during their untimely emergency.
Your contribution gives my family peace of mind. So thank you
for your contribution.
This message has been brought to you by the National Health Insurance Board, building a healthy nation, one person at a time.
The TCI judiciary was charged with ensuring swift delivery of justice by Father Mark Kendall during the recent legal year opening.
And even those who are in prison on remand, court dates ought not to be postponed over and over and cases dragged out by the whim and fancies and machinations of counsel.
He expressed dismay at the gap in operations in the past resulting from insufficient staff. He said never again must the Turks and Caicos have only 2 functioning judges. Despite this, the pastor commended the increased number of judicial personnel. Once again, a veteran oil man will lead the conference of the parties with the selection of Environment Minister Mukhtar Babayev of Azerbaijan as president of COP29. Babayev is a former state oil company executive, which critics balk at, given the overarching goals of the treaty to move away from fossil fuels. Still, Babayev is credited for efforts to clean up the environmental impact of the oil industry. Azerbaijan was announced as host country of COP29 on Saturday. Rashid Essan is ahead with your regional top stories. Magnetic Media is your news leader.
There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such a wholesome variety of your favorite fresh foods. There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such outstanding service. And there is simply nowhere else in the TCI to answer your every food craving in a chic, comfortable, centrally located store. That's a place you can trust. Number 1 is Graceway IGA. Fresh, service, trust for over 20 years.
It's now time for your regional top stories. I'm Rashid Essan. Concern is brewing as COVID-19 cases increase in New Providence and Grand Bahama in the Bahamas, according to the Ministry of Health. So far, a male has been reported dead as a result. The last 6 weeks saw 36 cases, 26 of which were reported in December, and Grand Bahama recorded 11 cases in the past 2 weeks. Overall, 28,424 cases have been recorded in the Bahamas since the onset of the disease in 2020, and now the number of related deaths stands at 846, with an additional 12 under investigation. Another concern for the Bahamas is the already growing gun-related crime rate, as the nation's first double murder was recorded, the victims a 29-year-old man and a 27-year-old woman, says the police. A 16-year-old was also gunned down over the weekend. So far, there have been 8 homicides, says Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander, and speaking on the issue of crime, Prime Minister Philip Davis expressed that the government will continue to fight for peace.
We are bringing the whole of government to disrupt and root the gangs in our society. And we need you to play your part.
He was speaking at the Royal Bahamas Police Force Church Parade on Sunday. Magnetic Media is your news leader. See these stories in full in the next edition of The Magnate.
Digicel is officially the fastest internet provider in TCI for another year. Our Wi-Fi lets you enjoy simply more of the best broadband experience in any part of your home. Based on the location of your home router, your Wi-Fi experience may vary due to obstacles like walls, appliances, or too many devices. It's time to say hi to Smart Wi-Fi. Smart Wi-Fi follows you around the house, ensuring the best experience while streaming, gaming, working, or relaxing. Maximize your coverage by installing a Smart Wi-Fi booster today. Enjoy simply more with Digicel. Better together.
More information now on last week's shooting that left one man dead in Providenciales and another severely injured. After speaking with civilians who were on the scene, Magnetic Media can report the killers are said to have breached the home of the victims and opened fire on them, killing one man on the spot as he sat in a chair and forcing the other to sprint outside, calling for help, we are told. When police arrived on the scene, the injured man who was bleeding ran towards them for help, expecting to be taken to hospital. hospital. However, officers told him they could not leave the scene of the crime until other officers arrived. We are informed that it was residents who packed the man into a private vehicle and rushed him to hospital. We have learned that it is police protocol to remain on the scene of a crime, especially a major one. However, this situation seems to point once again to a lack of manpower. The ambulance, we are told, arrived later on. 5 accused sat before the courts last Friday for sufficiency hearings, but none could proceed. According to Wilkie Arthur, our court correspondent, legal aid issues were cited as part of the hindrance. The matters included firearms, gun, and stealing offenses. We've got your weather tonight. It will be cooler and sunshine is back tomorrow with some cloudy intervals, high near 80 degrees, the rain chance 6%. I'm DeAndre Hamilton, and that does it for the evening edition. Top stories in 5. A new year. Arise, shine, and share.